It's coming up to 11 minutes to 2 o'clock. Now let's continue our conversation about the situation in Eswatini, where pro-democracy protests are not showing any signs of dying down. Demonstrators now calling for an end to what they say is a tyrannical rule of King Mswati III and his government. Some protests have turned violent and the army has now been deployed. There are allegations that 8 people have been shot dead in and around Manzini. That was from the Swaziland Solidarity Network. We were speaking to Lukhele earlier. But let's get a sense now from the Ngwane National Liberatory Congress, and we speak to Sibongile Mazibuko on the line to us from the capital of Eswatini, Mbabane, this hour. Ms. Mazibuko, good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday View on ENCA. Can you first confirm to us if there have been any deaths, killings or shootings that have led to deaths, as we've heard from the Swaziland Solidarity Network a short while ago in Manzini?
Yes, from the people who were near there, one cannot readily confirm or prove, but those that were there, the eyewitnesses did see people being shot and being thrown into the fire, because after burning the one of the companies that brew the brewing industry, there was a big fire. So the soldiers, having been deployed by the king, shot people and threw them there to hide evidence. So one may not be sure of the numbers of the people who have been killed.
Are you saying, just to understand, Ms. Mazibuko, that from the reports you are getting from witnesses around that brewery that was set on fire, the soldiers shot people and then threw some of them into the fire?
Yes, into the fire
to burn the bodies.
Allegation. Yes,
that's the allegation.
What I meant to hear.
Okay,
yes.
That's the allegation. It doesn't look good. So things are really terrible at the moment in Eswatini, if that kind of allegation is doing the rounds.
Yes, it's an allegation. One of my neighbors called me to say something like that happened. If something it is likely to happen, the king can be very brutal, because we should not forget that each time there's a new government election, people die, are murdered, and parts harvested from them when they are still alive. So as for ritual purposes. So it should not shock anyone if the king is ready to kill, to remain in power. And now we are made to understand that he has put aside the constitution. He is now ruling through his army, through order.
And the army, as far as you know, is still out in the streets, patrolling and stopping the protests and allegedly shooting protesters.
Yeah.
So you are in Mbabane. I spoke earlier to Mr. Lukhele of the Swaziland Solidarity Network, who was telling me that from their network in and around Manzini, the situation is really bad. What can you tell our viewers here out on ENCA, from what you know where you are in Mbabane? How bad is the situation in the capital?
Well, there is no activity there. All shops are closed, including the print media that we have. The border, all borders are closed. After there was so much activity, people closed it down. The newspapers, they're saying they are propaganda machinery for the monarchy, and many other institutions that belong to him have been gunned down by fire. As you know, it is unfortunate that most of the businesses belong to him. So this, of course, will have a big impact on the economy.
So
anyway, it was not adding anything because he doesn't pay tax. He's above the law. He was actually looting shares, forcing anyone to give shares for free. If you refuse, he takes away your license.
Very serious allegations indeed, and the situation doesn't seem to be improving. Your organization and the others who are protesting, are you going to continue? What are your plans now?
The plans now was that we are going to meet with all other civic society organizations, and the church was going to play a role as a convener of that meeting, meaning Swaziland Council of Churches, to convene that meeting and that we forge a way forward. But right now, since there is no network, nothing, because both mobile companies, the first one here shares with MTN, even MTN is not independent, and he owns fully Swazi Mobile. So it's up to him to allow us to communicate or not to communicate.
Will he allow you to meet? Will he allow you, from what you've just said, will he allow you and the church council, as you said, and other civil society organizations to meet to map the way forward?
The intention of the church is to bring both parties together, the monarchy and the progressive movement that are seeking for democracy together, so that we can forge a way forward. We are made to understand that they approach the Prime Minister, but we know very well that the Prime Minister acts on delegated authority.
Okay.
He gets the mandate to think from the King. But if now the King has declared a martial law situation, I don't think there is a will, a political will, even to talk.
Okay, thank you very much, Sibongile Mazibuko, from the Ngwane National Liberatory Congress. Very, very worrying situation happening in neighboring Eswatini. We'll continue tracking those developments, and at the top of the hour, I'll bring you the latest headlines.